turn my mic down real quick. I didn't realize it was so high up.
Oh, it's not
Um,
that loud for me, but
well, it's different when I'm recording it.
oh,
I'm going to turn you up. I know I should have done that beforehand, but I wasn't thinking about it. So, welcome everybody to Apartment Theater.
where
Uh,
we know what we're doing and we are professionals.
we honestly, I'm not exactly sure where Danny is right now, but if it's any consolation of what happened in the movie we watched,
Mm.
she's probably asleep,
Yeah, she
and
probably is asleep.
yeah, there's probably having a weird dream of something going
Mm-hmm.
on. Honestly, if I were to think, like, if I were to see into Danny's dreams, this movie would probably be what it looks like.
I mean, honestly, this movie was pretty on point to what some of my dreams look like. So weird shit. I mean, I've never had a dream about a blue demon, but I might now.
Yeah, you might. I
Might now.
mean,
I mean, I've had some really weird dreams. So,
yeah. I mean,
um,
yeah. I don't. I'm trying to think of, like, I remember having a dream at like 6 years old
mm-hmm.
that was really fucked up.
Yeah.
It was like there was a lot of blood and stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what the? Like, I woke up and was like, what the fuck just happened?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6. I don't watch
Mm-hmm.
these things. I'm too scared to watch these things.
Yeah. I used to have these really weird dreams where, like, my mouth would fill with blood and it had this very distinct taste to it. And this was when I was, like, younger. Um, and it was really, really bizarre. It was really gross. Uh, and then it wasn't until I got older and I ate pickled ginger with sushi that I was like, oh, fuck. This is what blood tastes like in my dreams. I'm not kidding.
It's such a random taste.
It's such a random taste. Like little kid me who had not ever had pickled ginger because my parents didn't eat sushi. Um, so there was no reason I would have ever eaten it as a child and just like remembered this flavor. Somehow that was imprinted into my brain and was like, this is what blood tastes like. What?
And it's
What?
funny because you had sushi. So,
I did, and I ate the pickled ginger.
uh, did you tell Kyle that,
That part? No, I didn't.
yeah, you should have. Be like, uh-huh. And he just pulls up Hinge, like, all right, let me just find someone else now.
Yeah. Cuz it was that like sort of like spicy bite that I don't know, I would have in my dream. Nothing else has flavor in my dream, or I don't remember flavors in my dream.
I had a
I
dream I was eating a piece of pizza and I woke up with my pillow in my mouth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I had a dream
I
once
would have been
that
concerned if it disappeared, but
yeah, I would be concerned about that too. No, I had a dream once that this is really funny now. Hulk Hogan stole my purse.
I could see him doing that.
And then I had to fight him to get it back. But not in like a wrestling ring type situation. It was just like on the street.
A street brawl with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Is that a
whatever.
homeless man? No, that's just Hulk Hogan. Oh, okay.
That's
Same
just Hulk
person.
Hogan. Yeah, same person. Um, anyway, this
I
movie
always
that we
have
watched.
I have recurring dreams where I'm always late to stuff.
Oh, yeah, I
So
do that too.
yeah. But
Um,
anyway, yeah, so we watched a movie called Strawberry Mansion.
Not
I'm
really a
very
horror
sure
movie, but it is kind of a horror movie.
it's
It's a little icky in places. At
it's
least it
a
makes me feel uncomfortable.
it says that it's like sci-fi adventure, but it's like it's not really like any genre. It's kind of just like whatever freaks you out could
Mm-hmm.
potentially be in here,
It's
but also
certainly very anti-capitalist.
y- yes.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie is about so I'll read the description here. So Strawberry Mansion, in the not too distant future, an all-seeing surveillance state conducts dream audits to collect taxes on the unconscious lives of the populace. Mild-mannered government agent James Preble travels to a remote farmhouse to audit the dreams of Arabella Bella Isadora, an eccentric, aging artist. Entering Bella's vast VHS archive, which contains a lifetime of dreams, Preble stumbles upon a secret that offers him a chance at love and hope for escape. And goddamn, that's like the first time I've read one of these
Mm-hmm.
descriptions. Like, wait, no, this was the movie
This was the movie.
to a point.
Yeah, this was absolutely the movie. They tax the shit out of your dreams, which is wild.
And
Um,
concerning.
and concerning. It made me think of 1980. No, yeah, 1984. Where they basically just like know what you're thinking, control your thinking, input ads everywhere.
And they always want you to eat chicken.
And they always want you to eat chicken.
Would you try the
Really
chicken slushy?
No. That sounds so gross.
I would try it. I would give it a go.
Mm.
Cause maybe it could be like the famous bowl, but it's just blended up, which
Uh-uh.
maybe that wouldn't be too bad, but
No, awful.
I
Don't.
don't I
Don't.
don't know.
No. Um,
Maybe I don't want to say I'm adventurous. Maybe I just have lower standards of eating. I'm like, oh cool, you made this, I guess
mhm.
I'll eat it.
Yeah. But yeah, our guy goes on some pretty wild adventures like in her dreams. Um, there is a little bit of timey-wimey stuff that happens. There's questioning your reality type shit. Like, are we in a simulation? Are like reality is what we make it kind of thing? Which is a
Yeah.
lot of what I got of like reality is what we make it because there was seemed like a lot of her like lucid dreaming, like altering what they were dreaming about when we knew that they were dreaming. But
Yeah.
I kind of felt like everything was a dream too.
Yeah, the whole movie felt
Ah!
very the cat's attacking you.
I don't know
The
what just
movie felt
happened.
very. I know it's because it's a dream movie, but like everything has like dream logic
Mm-hmm.
to it too. So it's. Are you okay?
I don't know what happened. Something
I don't
fell.
either. I
Whatever,
don't
it's
know.
fine. Just carry on.
Anyway, so it has very dreamlike. It has dream logic for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, I feel like I was never questioning what was happening
Mm-hmm.
because I was just like, I guess that's what's gonna happen now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I mean, him falling in love with like the past version of
Of
her.
her.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I guess I liked, I liked all the little homemade prop things. Like you could
I
tell it was like
know.
they had no money making
Yes.
this movie.
Yeah. I freaking loved those. That thing was amazing with the like Dixie cups with the holes in it. I fucking loved it so much. Oh my god. It was just like a
and,
cardboard box with a bunch of wires attached to it and lights. Oh, it was
and
fantastic.
and it had like because it had some stop motion in there too because
Mm-hmm.
there's different dreams like or like at one point he's told that he should become a caterpillar and
Yeah.
they'll be able to traverse the sea and I'm like I guess
Yeah.
sure yeah
Go
just
for it,
go
man.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah there's like a shitty green screen effect thing but it doesn't come off as like shitty
It,
to
it
me.
yeah, it doesn't come off as shitty green screen even though you know that's what it is because you're like, "Oh yeah, we're in a dream space. Of course it doesn't look right."
It's
Of
just
course it doesn't look right. Doesn't make
the
sense.
whole movie just has like a weird charm to it and also it looks really aesthetically pleasing.
Can we talk about the Pepto Bismol room?
The
His
nightmare room.
his nightmare room. His fucking Pepto Bismol room. I was like, "Why is everything Pepto Bismol?" I was like, "Is he okay?"
I feel bad for whoever had to paint all of the little
The
prop things that
props.
they drop on them.
Yeah.
Like that room must have just smelt like
Awful.
just
Absolutely awful. Yeah.
horrible paint. Yeah. Um yeah, so this movie kind of yeah, like I said, it doesn't have like a like specific genre. Like
Mhm.
I know it's not a horror movie, but I feel like this is like still in our wheelhouse of it's still
Mhm.
weird.
it's
Like it's still
weird.
there's something wrong
Yeah,
happening.
there's definitely parts of it that like were unsettling. Like the son, quote unquote, the like his entire behavior
It's
is
really weird.
really weird and off-putting, and I like yeah, Preble's immediate reaction to being like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. Till that like interaction with the son, I was like, yeah, dude, get out. Like,
I don't know why he stayed there though to watch the tape. It's like, dude, just leave and watch the tape somewhere else.
I know, right? I think it was like, I don't know, more of
Maybe he
a
was
I just
questioning his reality there
he
too,
probably was, yeah.
because I think especially having to sit through like so many different dream worlds and stuff with like doing the audits and stuff. Because that's
Mhm.
what because yeah, he's a
Dream
dream
auditor.
auditor. Yeah, and uh,
He's a tax man.
yeah, like I can imagine you start to question your own reality. Dude,
Mhm.
all I do is watch other people's
Yeah.
weird dream
Crazy dreams.
sequences.
Mhm.
It would be kind of cool to have a dream archive, but at the same time, I feel like most of it would just be uh, incomprehensible garbage.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
mean, most of my
kind of like what you see with like AI shit,
uh huh.
but there's some creativity with the
Mhm.
dreams, and there's no creativity with the AI.
Yeah. I mean, they're already like in this year, 2025. Well, last
Yeah,
year,
wherever
2024.
we are.
Um, they have started like trying to record people's dreams and like make documentation of them. So like this movie was made in 21 or released in 21, and like we're already starting on that path of like recording dreams and shit. And I'm like, they will literally, like, if they can, they will literally put ads directly into our brains. Like, no
It's gonna be
thanks.
Futurama.
It's gonna be Futurama. Like, fucking Muscacholi wants to put chips in our brains. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I don't need
th-
Ritz cracker ads in my.
I don't. I
You're gonna
really
because you're gonna
don't.
get targeted ads of your brain, and your
Yeah.
brain's gonna get manipulated into thinking that you need
Mhm.
whatever thing it is,
Yeah. Like,
and it's
that's
super fucked up.
super fucked up, and that is terrifying, and I think that's why that classifies this movie as a horror movie. Like, this is a commentary on what our reality is becoming. Like,
It's a dystopian horror.
it is a dystopian horror. I 100% agree. Also, Sugar Baby,
Yeah.
the little turtle tortoise. She's a
Yeah.
box
Oh
turtle.
my god.
She's
I
she's this big. She's a little quarter.
is just and eating the strawberry too. Is like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. The Did you notice that the only food
with strawberries. Yeah.
ever shown was the chicken, strawberries, and then we got a small glimpse of very burnt toast.
And then we got wine too, which I was thinking that it was
Oh yeah,
strawberry wine.
probably.
I'm pretty sure that's a wine, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
can
not
have
just grapes.
strawberry wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah,
it
because
was like
there's
a
berry.
bright red too,
Yeah,
so I was thinking like, oh, it's probably
mhm.
strawberry wine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she has a
yeah,
really cool house. I'm not gonna
I
lie. She's a very eccentric old lady, and I love her for it. And
it's
I
gonna
really
be
hope that
you.
that's me. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you having a weird house in the
Mhm.
middle of nowhere.
I do think the like strange mannequin that she has in her room, question mark, there was just like some strange like person sculpture that she has. Not a
Yeah,
fan of that one.
no,
Uh,
mannequins freak me out. So
mm-mm. No thanks.
it's a
Um,
it's a presence of being there, but you're
mhm.
not there thing. It's like I don't like how humanoid you are. You are like an
Mhm.
empty existence sitting next to me, and I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, but
this
yeah, so
this
this movie was
it was fun to watch.
yeah. I it also kind of put me like in a dream state. Like I was
Mhm.
already this movie feels like me trying to explain something as I'm about to fall asleep.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, have you ever like read a book and then things that aren't in the book are happening like in your brain,
Yes.
and they kind of like mishmash
Mhm.
together,
Yeah, it
and you're
starts
like,
like
yeah, this is
becoming a
making
movie.
sense, and you're just like, well, not even that, like you're just making up shit, like you're not like
Oh
you're
yeah, yeah,
reading
yeah.
it, but it's like you have dream stuff
Mhm.
happening too, and you're
Mhm.
like, yeah, that's what's happening in the book. I'm like, no, it's not. What the fuck am I? What am I? And like that's what this movie felt like. It
Mhm.
felt like
Yeah.
um there's a couple movies that I feel like it's very similar to as well,
Mhm.
but I feel like it has a different message to it. This is
Mhm.
just like fuck capitalism, and
Mhm.
this is a scary future that we could end up being in if we're not careful.
Careful. Yeah.
Like every dystopian fucking nightmare
Mhm.
scenario. It the way that it flows felt very similar to like Eternal Sunshine.
I still need to see that, but
It's a very good movie. It's
mhm.
not gonna make you question relationships or anything like that.
Mhm.
Because that movie, every time I watched it, it made me feel just completely empty.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, that's a whole different discussion. But you should
Yeah.
watch that movie.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you haven't watched it. But
Yeah.
and then like The Science of Sleep was another one that it's
Mm.
very similar to as well. Also, it's just things that have to do with your mind, and you're
Yeah.
deleting things from your mind or like
Mhm.
extracting things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
like what's worth remembering and things like
yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
My movie of context was Stardust that it reminded me of. Um, because of how much it's just like, oh yeah, this crazy thing's about to happen. All right, let's go. Like, because I
it
feel
really reminds me of Jumanji.
a little bit, yeah. Like you're just so much like, all right, I guess sure that makes sense for the story. Okay, yeah, we're in a dream state. Whatever. This is
Yeah,
fantasy. Who gives a shit? Like, just throw it out there. It's fine. Like, okay. I kind of feel that way about Stardust, but or at least like the way it flows and that kind of thing. Every like it's weird to watch.
yeah. I can't recommend it to like every single person. I
Mm,
was hoping to see what Danny was gonna say about,
I know.
because I guarantee that she would have hated this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't absolutely like love the movie,
Mhm.
because there were times where I'm just like, dude, I straight up just had no fucking idea what's going on.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, I still enjoyed what I watched.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like a movie that if I watch it a few more times, that
Mhm.
it'll really sink in, which I think
Yeah.
is nice. I don't. I feel like we don't. I feel like we don't like enjoy a movie enough.
Mhm.
Like, we're always looking for the new thing, and like it, because I was thinking about it with like games and stuff too,
Mhm.
where it's, oh my god, we need the next big thing, and it's like, dude, we haven't watched, played, read so many things. We all just need like a year off of like making creative shit, and like look back at the archives that are still around, and like
Mhm.
we're not looking at enough stuff still.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to go your entire life not seeing a movie that could have potentially changed your life, but it's just because you
Mhm.
didn't have enough time to
Mhm.
see it. You can't watch every single
You can't.
movie.
Mm-mm.
There was a YouTube video that I got recommended. It was like, I watched 1,000 movies in the year. I'm like,
Mhm.
holy shit.
That's insane.
That's like 3 movies a day.
Mhm.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I would hate watching movies at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Um Also, I was curious if any of the like dream sequences in the movie were actually like representations of like what he was experiencing. Um and they kind of are, or
Yeah.
at least cuz I wasn't sure what like dreaming about rats meant. Cuz I assumed that dreaming of like sailing and being on a boat, like he's literally looking for something in his life. He is searching for something, and usually like that's kind of what dreaming about being on a boat is that you're like lost at sea, which he was,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. But then I was like, okay, but he's got like the two rats with him. Like what is that? And apparently, dreaming about rats is feelings of fear, anxiety, or being threatened, or hidden problems in your life.
The hidden problem for him being the place is on fire and he's aware of it.
Yeah, yeah. And like he was also like aware of ads being pumped into his brain at night, but didn't acknowledge it. So
I
that could
like
be
the
like a
little
hidden
helmet that
problem.
they made
I
too.
know, it was so cute.
Yeah.
I do like him being the person in the like ghillie suit or being like covered in grass, and
Yeah.
he's like hidden in plain sight. Like he knows it's him, but like he also doesn't know that it's him. He like has to go through the journey of discovering that it is him, and like this sort of self-discovery journey through the dreams, through her dreams, and like seeing that kind of stuff. Um,
I was thinking that it was also like if you do a job for so long, you kind of lose your own self
yeah, you.
identity, and
Yep.
him just searching for because he's
Mhm.
clearly needing something more in his life,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he's hoping that he'll find these
Mhm.
meanings in these dreams too. So
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of like us being like, what's the interpretation of our dreams? And it's like
Mhm.
it's whatever you
Mhm.
want it to be at the
Yeah.
end of the day because it's your mind and you can create whatever you want. But it does feel weird. I feel like I also, because I was thinking about just life in general and like
Mhm.
talking to people that are much, much older than me,
Mhm.
and you'd see pictures of them younger, and you'd be like, oh man, I definitely would have crushed on this person. Because,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, there's still that person
They're still that
though. And
person.
so
They're
it,
just they got years of experience now. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's always weird to me to be like, oh my god, you're so much different
Mhm.
now, or like you could still see like light of
Mhm.
that
Of
person.
who they were. Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely made me think about mortality for
Oh
sure,
yeah.
of just like
Mhm.
what am I gonna lose, like even when we do this
Mhm.
podcast to basically ourselves,
Mhm.
it's an archive of in a way it's kind of like a dream archive of us just
Mhm.
being like, dude, remember this?
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember half
Like,
the movies we watch. More than half the movies we watch.
yeah, yeah, and like I don't know, it just made me really think about
Mhm.
just what we're keeping around for like others to find
Mhm.
too, and then what's gonna
Yeah.
mean something to somebody else whenever we die.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave somebody a tub of Skylanders, and I wish them the best of luck for
yeah.
that. That's but yeah, I just I don't know. It didn't get in my head in like a way. Oh, I'm scared to die. It's more of just the progression of time is so strange,
Mm.
and
Yes.
it feels like everything is happening and nothing is happening at the same
Mhm.
time. You're like, oh, I haven't done anything. I haven't progressed in my life, and then you think about it, and you're like, no, like I'm moving along. Not the best, but like it could be worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was such a weird feeling
Mhm.
movie though. Like
It really is. I think it makes you kind of question your reality a little bit. It's funny, like talking about questioning reality and how time passes and that sort of thing. Um, I was talking to Kyle about cast iron skillets earlier, and how
as
I,
you do.
as you do, and because I want to get like an antique one. So if I like see one in an antique store, and so that got me thinking about like why am I so attracted to antiques in general? Um, and like part of me is like there is so much stuff in the world, like you were saying, but like there's so much material things in the world that have already been made, um, that don't need to go in the trash, that can be reused, that can stick around. But I feel like for me, it's almost like all of these little objects have stories, and even though I can't hear those stories, I like knowing that they're there
Yeah.
and that they, like, I don't know whose house it's been in, what it's seen, that kind of thing. But it's almost like all of these little objects or strange antiques that have experienced life with us, that life is almost ingrained into them in a way. And it's, I don't want to say that it's a soul, but it's akin to a type of soul that goes along with it. And that aspect or that thought kind of makes me happy that it's like I can keep this thing going and experiencing existing, um as opposed to, I don't know, buying something brand new, which I guess, you could give something brand new existence to, but I don't know. There's something more charming to me about stuff that's already existed and had a life, I guess.
Yeah, like that's how I feel about just media stuff in
Yeah.
general. If I find an old game, it's
Mm.
cool. It's like I
Yeah.
found like a diamond in the rough. I don't care about its worth or whatever.
Mhm.
It's just if I see a PS1 game at anywhere, I'm
Mhm.
immediately like, "Wow,
Yeah.
look what I found. I
Mhm.
never see this."
Yeah.
Like in like a Goodwill or like a
Mhm.
whatever kind of antique place. But yeah, no, and then it's just like, how did it end up here?
How did it out here?
Like
Yeah.
I have had stuff that were like I've sold in like different states, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I wonder where it's at now.
Yeah.
Where is anything
Mhm.
at?
Where's anything at? Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know, that kind of like journey fascinates me, and even though anything I buy, I won't be able to experience that journey or know what it even was. Unless like somebody actually knows the history of the piece, which I've gotten very very few pieces like that. Um, I don't know. It's just fun. It's fun to have,
yeah,
and that's kind of what this movie was making me think about, because it has this sort of time loop thing where he falls in love with her and ends up being her husband, which means him and her are the ones who make the like crown thing or the helmet to block out the ads, and then she has to grow old and experience his death again and do it all over. And then it makes you go, well, is reality even reality if you're just in a constant repeating loop of that?
that that was that was another thing too. Like for dreams of, uh, I felt like maybe the dreams you're having are just like different realities that you
Yeah.
were, or like different ages like your soul was in,
Mm-hmm.
and
Past lives, different realities, other
it's just
dimensions.
combining all of it into
Mm-hmm.
just like mush.
Yeah. Compressing it into one. Yeah.
Yeah, and same with like how like deja vu works, where you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I've been here before,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is
Mm-hmm.
familiar,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say this is definitely worth watching.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Oh my god, I got the hiccups.
How dare you?
I found out about this movie from TikTok
Oh, nice.
because somebody was like, I wish that there was a horror movie or something that had like this kind of vibe, and people were like, Strawberry Mansion, Strawberry Mansion, Strawberry Mansion. I'm like, I don't know what Strawberry Mansion is. Let me check it out. And that's the other thing too. I love I know that I, because I keep using Letterbox to read the descriptions of the movies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I like going on here and finding just the weirdest fucking movie
Yeah.
possible and checking it out,
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't have found it if it wasn't for sites like this.
Right?
And maybe they're not all bangers. We've watched some pretty dog shit movies on
We
here,
have. We have.
but the fact that we even found it
Mm-hmm.
is astonishing.
Yeah.
Like we have watched so many movies thanks
Mm-hmm.
to just archives of collections and things, and
Mm-hmm.
people talking about things, and I'm not really sure what point I'm trying to make, but all I
Stuff.
know is stuff's important. and we got to keep track of the stuff that we actually care about.
Mhm.
So
Including
mainly what I'm
people.
saying is to
Mostly people.
subscribe to our podcast and
Yeah.
download every single episode.
Mhm.
Um,
Beautiful segue.
that's what it is. Listen to it. Go on YouTube. You can watch it there. I found out too for
Hmm.
YouTube algorithm stuff, like when the stream's done, that's when YouTube really actually sends your video out.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't know that. So
Oh.
yeah, and we'll talk about it for not episode related stuff. But I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay, it just because it always exists. Like our episodes exist on the YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So and you could be subscriber number 14. But I've seen some of our stuff go like a few views on there, like
Mhm.
but it's just I don't know. It's just wild. Like however you found us, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Cass appreciates you.
I do.
Danny's dead, so we don't know,
Don't say
but I
that.
imagine that
Don't
she.
put that out in the world.
You're right. You're right. Knowing Danny,
Don't put that out in the
I'm
fucking world.
sorry.
God
Danny's
damn.
not dead. Danny is not dead.
Fuck.
Danny is very much alive. Um, we don't know where she is.
Yeah, she's probably just taking a nap.
That's probably what it is.
Mhm.
She's a hardworking gal.
She is.
So, and very much alive. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, no. Thank you to anybody who's checked out our stuff and um, subscribe to all of our stuff and
Please.
download stuff and
Mhm.
tell your friends.
Yeah.
We'll watch pretty much anything at this
Okay.
point. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
If you got a weird movie that's kind of horror adjacent or
Mhm.
has vibes,
It's got vibes.
we can. This felt like a step out of what we usually do, just for like a little bit. It's like
Mhm.
okay, it's in. I don't know. It's different. I would say to watch it. So
Mhm.